have a green button for me to invite her. So yeah, there's no green button coming. Can I add someone? I just want to see whether it's working. It's not like I'm going to talk to you for long. I just want to add someone to see whether it's my phone or Karen's phone. If not, I think it's not working because I'm not a member of the page. Why are you not the member of the page? Can you please send in a request to join? Please send in. That's what I had asked you to do earlier on. Please ask to be joined into the group so I can do that for you. Please do that quickly. You need to request to join the group, and then I'll be able to join you into that group. So can you do me a favor? Sisimi's diaries. Let's see. Let's have a look. Notifications. Yeah, I think it is Karen's thing. I think it's Karen. Guys, someone need to talk to me about this. She's supposed to be joining the group, right? For her to be part of the group so she can be invited, right? So Karen, you got to join the groups for you to be invited. Who is this one saying me? Nyaradzo? Let me see whether there's a green button for you. No, okay. So guys, we need to get going. It's quite late here. Karen, can you get off the live streaming? I'm gonna call you. We need to get going. We have not much time. It's quite late here. We can't be here all night long. We have families, we have kids and all that, work and everything else. So let's go straight to the issue. Let me call Karen and then we can work on what we are doing. Karen, just get off the live streaming totally. I'm calling you now, okay? I tried. Guys, I tried.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't know, because you remember I said for you to join SIS MELLY's diaries. Did you do that?
Yes, I did, but I don't think they didn't, I don't think they added me yet.
Yeah, okay, so we'll sort it out for next time. But for now, let's get going. We just have to do this. Otherwise, it's getting too late. So today we are talking about childhood trauma. And I have Karen here. She's a relationship counselor. She's a marriage counselor. She's a psychosocial therapist. She has a lot of qualifications, a lot of experience, helping kids and adults who are going through challenges of life that is come about because of the adverse effects that happened, maybe because of excessive trauma, different kinds of traumas that she's going to take us through and, help someone here. So Karen, just to say a bit, how would you describe trauma? What is trauma?
Trauma is basically a life-threatening or overwhelming experience.
So can I want you to speak?
In a nutshell, that's basically what it is.
Okay, just hang on, Karen. Karen, hang on, please. I need you to speak a bit louder. I don't know whether you can put your phone on loudspeaker because these people need to hear you clearly. Otherwise, we are going to be having a lot of questions. So,
okay. So is that okay?
Yeah. Can you hear Karen? If someone can hear Karen clearly, please, you need to comment something. So, Karen, you said what's childhood trauma?
So, trauma, whether it's childhood or adult trauma, is a life-threatening or overwhelming experiences, or overwhelming, a group of overwhelming experiences. So it doesn't matter whether it's physical, emotional, psychological. It all has the same impact.
Right. Okay. Saka pana baka, I will try my best kuti nditaure one shona because tese pano tiri maZimbabwe. Karen anobva kuBulawayo, inini ndinobvawo kwa Mutare uku ndiri Wasu. Karen anobvawo kuBulawayo. Saka tese tiri maZimbabwe. This is why I invited her, because munhu anozivawo some other things that happened there, because sometimes kana uchishare ukashare zvinonyanyoitika kuno kudiaspora chete you lose touch with reality nevanhu vari kumusha. Saka Karen ari kuti zvinhu zvinoitika panapa ndezvekuti munhu ukakurira mwana akakurira muenvironment yekuti anenge achishungurudzwa o pane zvinhu zvinoitika mupenyu zvinorwadza pamwoyo and zvoramba zvichiitika because kune madifferent types of trauma, right? Kune imwe trauma inongoitika as like a once off thing, right? So like trauma that is just acute inokwanisa kuitika maybe due to sudden loss, tragic death, and it can happen because wabviswa paunenge uri uchikwanisa kunge uchilive a comfortable life, or you see something tragic happening to someone mufamily that is very acute, and then kochizoitawo imwe trauma yekuti iri chronic. Zviri kutaura Karen kuti yabva manje pakuva acute chronic, meaning kuti that something that is repeatedly happening, some adverse experience, zvinhu zvisiri pleasant to life, zvinhu zvisiri right zvinenge zvichiitika kumwana iyeye zvinokonzeresa so much pain, zvinoaffecta even brain, zvinoaffecta even physical. Tomboti munhu arohwaka 1 namai wake kana kuti baba wake, yes, that can be anokwanisa kurohwa zviri excessive trauma iyaya once off, anditika kochizoita kuti the same thing chiri kuramba chichiitika all the time, yato chronic iyoyoyo. Chinhu chiya chekuti mwana anopedzesera aita kunge munhu akapiswa neiron, ane ganda rakafa, so nekuramba achingorohwa nekuramba achishungurudzwa muenvironment yaanenge ari. Then kozoita zvimwe zviri complex zvekuti haisi just one kind of trauma. Karen is going to explain more about that. Haisi chari one kind of trauma, dzatowanda. Pamwe pacho uri kurohwa, pamwe pacho uri kunyimwa chikafu, pamwe uri kunzi rara usina magumbezi, pamwe uri kudirwa mvura inopisa kana kuti mvura inotonhora. Kune vana vane mabhenzi aripo because of childhood trauma. Pamwe pacho kungova ndingati kudzikisirwa zviya zvekuti you can't express yourself, unongoramba uchipushirwa pasi. Vamwe vana vanokonzereswa pain iyoyo nekuti kune munhu anongofila kuti uyu mwana uyu chirema ichi handikwanisi kuchichengeta, ongoita hasha dzisinganzwisisiki, oabhuza mwana iyeye achimushandisa. Vamwewo vana kuti dzimwe trauma dzinouya nenzira yekuti pamwe mastep parents or even baba chaivo kana hanzvadzi kana hama, vana baba mukuru, vana cousin, vanani, kune vanhu vari kuabhuzwa vakanyarara mukati umu. You see, chinonzi chiramu chiya chechi, people don't understand kuti itori mental trauma yemwana iyoyo. Vana vanobatwa mazamu, vana vanobatwa magaro. I'm sorry because I'm just going to say it as it is. Kana kungoti munhu anoyango kukisa, hapana kana consent, hapana chi, this is a minor, things are happening. And musociety medu takaudzwa kuti zvoni zviri acceptable, handi baba mukuru kasaka zvine basa rei, right? So I'm going to go back to Karen. Musati mhanyisawo please, because ndiri kufanirwa kutaura neshona. Havasi vanhu vese vari kunzwa zviri kutaura Karen panapa. Toda batsira vanhu vese, saka ndichatsanangura neshona. Musandimhanyisawo please, ndipewo time, because it is very important kuti vasinganzwewo chirungu vanzwe shona. Handitika Karen, now ndoda kuti utsanangure. Can you please explain? You see ndato mudhi weshona futi akamana. I want you to explain the different types of trauma.
Okay, well, I think, there are different types of trauma. Physical trauma, which is trauma to the body and injury. Mm-hmm. There is psychological trauma, which is to do with, how you are thinking. Mm-hmm. And there's also emotional trauma. Mm-hmm. But all of those traumas all have the same impact on the body. Mm-hmm. And that is where we experience traumas, usually in the body. Yeah. And I will explain a bit more about that. No two people are alike in their experience of trauma. Mm-hmm. Trauma is stressful, but not all stress is traumatic.
Okay.
And how we respond is influenced by a number of different things. It could be our genetics, our personality, our family dynamics, the amount of experiences that we've had. Mm-hmm. But I think the most important thing to remember is that people, in particular children, can be overwhelmed or traumatized by everyday events that we may think are okay. Mm-hmm. And so trauma doesn't have to stem from one major event, but from a whole lot of experiences over time. Yeah. And I can go through what some of those experiences are. But the common ones are things like, the obvious ones are death of a loved one, accidents, natural disasters, war, medical procedures, illness, neglect, birth stress, rape, exposure to extreme cold and heat.
Yeah.
Witnessing violence can also cause trauma. So people who have seen violent events.
Yeah.
But also another thing is that when children are, particularly children, this often happens with children, when children are not, do not feel heard, or they do not feel that their opinions or their thoughts matter, and they're invalidated. I don't know how you would explain that in Zulu Shona, is when they don't feel validated, that can then cause, or, for instance, if a child is shamed often.
Yeah.
Or ridiculed, or, yelled at repeatedly, or just never allowed to have their voice or their say, there can be a fine line between discipline and punishment, or just not being heard or validated, or very inconsistent parenting. One day, they know what's going to happen. The next day, the same thing can happen, and there's a different consequence. Those kinds of things are also very traumatic, and in actual fact, a lot more common than these other kinds of trauma that we would normally think is very traumatic. And betrayal is another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite a lot I've said there, so I'll let you explain there first.
Okay. I realize that a lot of people are saying here they can hear English, so I'm not going to waste much of my time explaining in Shona. If there's anyone here who thinks I should explain in Shona, please type in there. Otherwise, we are just going to repeat the same things, and yet everyone else is understanding English. So if there's anyone who wants me to explain some things in Shona, then you can sort of like type there and let me know and say, okay, that I didn't get. Can you please explain in Shona? Otherwise, it looks like we are all in the right direction. So what I just want you to explain now, Karen, is how can you see what are the signs and symptoms of childhood trauma? How can you tell that the child is being traumatized? Okay, I know physical injury, physical trauma, like you said, being exposed to extreme heat or extreme cold and beatings and those kind of things. Like some people can starve their kids, just extreme punishment. You have done this.
It could be, even a child being locked in a room all day for 3 hours or something as a punishment.
And
can be
also
a traumatic thing.
Yeah, and also, being asked to do jobs that a child cannot handle, adult jobs. You see a child, a child who is so little and is busy heading cattle when they are supposed to go to school. Not because they don't want to go to school, not because they don't have school fees, but someone just decides to be nasty to this child, and they are getting loads of, washing to do, and after that they are being told you are not eating tonight, and or maybe they are told I'm not going to give you blankets, or they are locked up in a room. There was one time when I saw a child who was being asked to feed chicken. So these people were rearing chicken, and she was told, you are not going to school. You see, you guys, what do you want? I was talking in Shona, and people were saying we are hearing the English version, so don't speak in Shona. And then I stopped, and now you are saying speak in Shona.
Shona, it's so hard, so difficult. I really wish that when I had gone to school, we had been allowed to learn the real languages, and I really regret that. But I think
anyway,
Shona has very difficult language.
It's okay. So, those kind of things, Karen is saying, kuti, mwana anokwanisa kuvharirwa muroom the whole day. And it can be a repeated event or inconsistent parenting. Nasi maudzwa kuti tiri kuita is the next day makuita something different. And mwana anogaridzwa uri zidofo, you are zibenzi, uri zibenzi, you can't haufi wakabudirira iro riri uchidhokonywa. And you are finding so challenging kuchikoro semwana, maybe hausi kunzwisisa zviri kuitika. Maybe you had a sudden loss of a tragic loss to maybe mai or baba or something like that, apa wakutraya kuda kuti uite cope nesituation iripo kuchikoro wakudzikira and all these kind of things, wodzoka kumba pamwe kwane what do I call it, kwane some relative who is looking after you, avachanzwisisi what is going on with you, unongogara uchingonzi iro iri zvazoti chino hechi, haunawo munhu anombokuteerera, you feel like you are misunderstood, hapana munhu anokuteerera and hapana munhu anomboda kuteerera zvauri kutaura. Therefore you are bottling up the emotions and it's brewing up in your mind. So Karen, you were saying mangma symptoms, some of the symptoms of a child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's lots and lots of different symptoms, and some can show up at the same time or shortly afterwards, and other symptoms can come up years later, years later. So things can be like feeling very on guard, on edge, anxiety, nervousness, mood swings, so temper tantrums, anger outbursts, crying, rage, feeling very down. Shame is it goes with trauma. Shame and trauma go together. So shame and a lack of self-worth. Reduced ability to deal with stress. Difficulty sleeping. Change in appetite. So not wanting to eat or wanting to eat too much. Panic attacks, phobias. There is another thing that can happen where, which we call dissociation, where people just numb out. They just go blank. And they space out as if they go into a different world and they tune everything out. And often with children in schools, when they're in the classroom, they can come across as if they're hyperactive, like they have ADD, but it's actually not ADD, it's actually trauma showing up in their behavior because they can't sit still, they're fidgety. Let's say they're sensitive to noise and the teacher claps her hands to get or raises her voice. Trauma response, they're off in another world, or then they're running around and doing funny things. So it can be behavioral changes in children. Just think like hyperactivity, nightmares, night terrors can also be that sort of thing. Sensitivity to light and sound, flashbacks, or intrusive thoughts or intrusive images that keep, replaying when they get triggered. So, there can be also in adulthood, then some of those symptoms can appear as panic attacks, anxieties, phobias, avoidance behavior, not wanting to go to places or do things or be around certain people, or actually being attracted to dangerous situations, which is weird, but it's like wanting that kind of adrenaline rush or that excitement that somehow is confused in the brain. Addictive behaviors are often, I see many people with addictions, and I always ask about trauma. Forgetfulness, difficulties, so this is in adulthood, inability to love, nurture, or bond with other people. So there can be this not being able to have relationships well with other people. Self-harming can be something. I remember working with a 5-year-old who had been through significant trauma in a domestic violence relationship that he had witnessed his father hurting his mother, and he was actually self-harming at 5.
Oh my goodness.
Loss of a sense of meaning, like not knowing, in terms of spirituality or having a sense of the world having meaning or you having a place in the world. There's just so many things. It can be chronic fatigue. So physically you can have low energy or chronic fatigue, immune problems, headaches, migraines, asthma, digestive problems, depression, and also just, sometimes just a feeling like the world is not a safe place. The world seems frightening and it becomes very restricted. So you can see there's lots and lots of variety around those kinds of symptoms that show up.
Yeah. Guys, we're gonna be very fast in what we're doing because we want to take as many calls as possible, because I know there's some people here who really need help, who are genuinely in need of help. So I do a lot of counseling. I'm a life coach. Karen does a lot of counseling, and she's also a relationship specialist. Like, let me put it that way. She does all those things. That's her daily bread. She deals with children who are going through trauma, adults who are having challenges in life because of this kind of stuff. And so she does all those things to a point where if you are married, it can affect even your sexual life, intimacy, and all these things. And she's going to be doing this intimacy in marriage program with me, where she's going to tell you her experience, and also where she's going to teach you intimacy in marriage. So you heal from childhood trauma, you get well, and then you need to know how to navigate through life. So Karen is going to be doing this on my page, and my page is called Another Chance with Gladys. On Saturday, we are trying to get the basics here today because we need people to understand how to heal from childhood trauma. Let people ask so many questions. You start to get healing, and we are there and we are here to help you. On Saturday, we are going to be talking about intimacy in marriage, but that will be on Another Chance with Gladys page. So what we are doing here, for those who are actually serious, you are going to get somewhere. I want you to understand that you are going to get somewhere. Now, Karen, I just want you to explain something. In your experience, because I know you have dealt with children, right, that are coming and they are going through childhood trauma, or they are now adults. Maybe if you can just say, because some people might not know that they are causing childhood trauma to their kids. Is there any explanation, or with the parents that you have presented to your practice, is there any of the parents who have explained to you how and why they are doing these kind of things to their own children? Is it intentional? Are there parents who do it unknowingly and then find out later? So can you please shed a bit of light there?
I think there's a variety of reasons. I think that most parents love their children, but they are misguided in their intentions. So they think they may be doing the right thing, and they may have learned things from their parents. So they're repeating what they've learned, and then it gets, my mother used to smack me and whack me or whatever, or yell at me, and I'm fine, so why can't I'm going to do that with my child? And they don't understand the impact on the brain. So trauma with children affects the development of the brain. So whatever part of the brain was developing at the time that the trauma took place is affected. So it means there's a kind of, that part of the brain doesn't develop fully. And so there's so much research, neuroscientific research, about how trauma affects the development of the brain, and how trauma affects social development in children, because it affects the development of their brain. So it even affects their ability to learn.
Right.
So when we're treating children, then we have to go then try and find out when was it that these things happened, and sometimes it's all the way along, and then work with specific interventions that can help that particular part of the brain to reconnect and rewire. So that's the good news, is that even if you have experienced trauma, or maybe you're a parent and you're thinking, oh my goodness, maybe I haven't been doing the right thing.
Right.
It's never too late, because the brain can rewire itself with the right nurture and the right connections and the right interventions. The brain can rewire and heal itself. So that is a wonderful thing.
Right,
wonderful thing. It's very reassuring.
Guys, I want to tell you something. I was sharing with Karen yesterday, right? Just on a friendship basis, when we're going through what we're going to be discussing about today, and she mentioned something that touched my heart. So she actually was doing teenage counseling trauma session, kids with anxiety and all this, and she was sharing with me that there was a child who did not physically witness trauma. Karen, I'll
Yes.
ask you to share that. So Karen was
Okay.
telling me there is a child who actually witnessed, trauma or experienced trauma from his mother's womb when he was still in his mother's womb. Kuna vanhu vanoponda vakadzi vakazvitakura, vanorova vakadzi vane nhumbu, vamwe vanoita mapreterm labor, vamwe vanoita mamiscarriages nenyaya yekurohwa uchidhubvunyurwa uine nhumbu iyoyoyo. And Karen was sharing with me kuti this particular child experienced that trauma ari munhumbu yamai vake, not outside, and now it's affecting the child. When the child is outside, vabereki havatombozivi kuti this is actually affecting the child, what they were doing, yelling at each other. There are some hormonal issues that happen when you are doing that, and because the child is feeding from the mother, even the hormones, they get inside there and they affect the child. Karen, I want you to share a bit on that.
Okay, so I was working in a school when I was actually doing my first placement after I'd finished my master's, while I was doing my master's. And I was working with some children. I'd set up an anxiety management group for children. And I had a little boy in this group who was very quiet, very withdrawn. And he drew this picture. There was no real instruction. It was just paint a picture.
Yeah.
And he painted this picture of a man and a woman and a child in between the man and the woman. And the woman was covered with blood. And the man, I think he had a knife or something in his hand. Now, he had never witnessed his father being abusive to his mother. But when he was in the womb towards the end of the pregnancy, the mother had been, abused or assaulted.
Yeah.
So somehow he had drawn this picture, which, he had never seen that actually as a live human person outside of the womb. This was inside of the womb. Which also leads me to wonder sometimes whether there, I don't think there is much evidence about this, but I think as a Christian I know that it happens, and I think there's also some spiritual elements to these things. So how does this little boy, as a baby developing in the womb, know that this is happening? So that was really interesting, that even in birth, when the brain is developing and the body's developing, that can affect children too. And the mother's body will produce cortisol, adrenaline, all sorts of hormones that are common in the fight, flight, freeze process. And I would like to, if I can, just explain a little bit about fight, flight, and freeze, because that will help people understand how they can heal from trauma.
Yes. So now, because we've talked about all the other challenges, now it's time to talk about the actual healing process.
Yes. So Peter Levine is a fantastic author and researcher about trauma, Dr. Peter Levine, and he's written many books.
Yeah.
Now, he explains it this way. He says, when you have, let's say you have an impala or a buck in the bush, and the lion comes and manages to pin the impala down.
Yeah.
What will happen is, first of all, that impala will go into a freeze state. It will freeze and just kind of numb out.
Hey.
Now let's say the lion is not successful because there's another lion that comes and chases that lion away or something. And the impala manages to get free. What will happen is the impala will run, get safe, and then it will shake uncontrollably for about 10 minutes. And once it's finished shaking, that's it. It's forgotten. It's done.
Yeah.
So there's a process of trauma. So the process, animals have this process where they use their bodies to complete the cycle of escape. They're
deep.
able to complete the cycle of escape by running and by shaking. Now, we humans have that same capacity, but guess what? We often don't get to run, and we don't get to escape, and we don't finish the process. So what happens is trauma gets stored in the body. And so that's what we have to do when we're working with trauma, is we need to come back to the body and help the body release the trauma by completing the cycle. And there's lots of different things that we can do to do that.
Vakomanaka, did you hear what Karen is just saying here? Vakomana, this is just too deep. So she's saying zvakafanana nekuti an impala iri kuda kubatwa ne-lion anditika, and then painovhundusirwa so ne-lion, there's that thing that will just imuka, but imagine there's that thing that will tell that impala kuti izvoni okay, panapa ka upenyu hwangu hunokwanisa kutongopera panapa. Saka inopinda, you said it goes in a freeze mode, right? Karen?
Yes.
It goes in a freeze mode, is that what you said?
Yeah, it will freeze and shut down.
Yeah. So
initially,
so Karen,
and then once it can escape, because if it gets eaten, it needs to numb itself out.
Right. Okay. So Karen is saying it freezes. Akomana inongo freezer, because imagine lion yapa duze kudai. So naturally the whole body freezes. It's getting ready kuti ndakutongofa zvangu panapa. Saka inongo freezer so, and the body becomes numb. But let's say something comes along the way and distracts the lion from attacking and killing this impala. Inomanya enda somewhere to safety. Yashika ikokoko. That's when it actually realizes, I'm alive. Ndiri mupenyu naye. So then in that state ndo panochizorowa reality manje. Kufriza kuya numbing ear goes, and then yochitanga kuchirowa nehana, and it shakes until it gets rid of the traumatic event. That's how the animal can actually move on to live again until its day comes when it's actually successfully attacked. Saka Karen is saying that is different with human beings, and that problem yatinayo isuska takakura tichinzi izvoni. Some things azvitaurwi, you can't say this to the community, zvinokanganisa family ndezvepanapa, and which means your trauma is mounting up, it's accumulating in your brain, and it's damaging you more. And Karen, there's this thing to say, men don't cry. I was commenting here yesterday, Kuti, there are so many women who are part of this right now, right? But there are men out there, men have to be strong. But those men, when I see it, because I do a lot of marriage counseling, I realize there are some men out there who are numb. They are numb. Vakaita chiwewe because of child abuse, and they were constantly told kuti ndo kutova murume kwacho ikoko, you have to be strong. Unofanwa kutoshinga. There's no time for them to pour out or express themselves. Akada kungotaura anything anongodzishinga uri munhu wemurume. That thing has carried on until even now. As a result, in adulthood, how does this thing affect marriages?
So yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that can happen is how we instead of responding to our partners, people who've experienced trauma will react, and a reaction comes from emotion and response comes from thought and emotion. When you can think your way clearly and rationally, reaction is irrational. And so often what I see in relationships is one or two people not able to manage their feelings very well. So they can get very easily triggered by things. Okay. Or they take things very personally.
Oh, yeah.
And then they can get very extremely angry or very extremely sad or shut down completely. They just don't communicate. They're just completely shut down. So they're really affected in their ability to connect in a safe way with other people because it doesn't feel safe to them.
Yeah, my goodness.
And then there can be feelings of intense shame in the relationship. And obviously with sexual trauma, sexual trauma is an intrusion of sacred space. It's a rupture of boundaries. And it's a shock to delicate internal organs. And then it comes with very strong feelings of shame and guilt. So, and a feeling of isolation.
That's right.
So, and that often, I am often treating people who are in their sexual relationships or intimate relationships because they get flashbacks or, you know, and this is what happens is when trauma shows up as an adult, it can be very confusing. Because what's happening doesn't have any connection with the trauma. What's happening is you feel a sensation in your body. You might get butterflies in your stomach.
My goodness.
Your heart rate might increase. You might not be able to do anything. You feel something in your body, or you have a memory or a sensation. And because childhood trauma is often stored in the part of the brain that and I can't remember the name of the part of the brain, but it's stored in the part of the brain that is non-verbal. So childhood trauma is stored non-verbally and has to be expressed non-verbally.
Right.
So what can happen is you can have this sensation, or you remember little fragments of things, but not a clear picture. Or sometimes you have no memory at all, just a sensation or a feeling of something. So it could be. So I'll share with something with you that, you know, I have been through some sexual abuse myself as a child, and there's one particular song that if I hear that song, I immediately have a sick feeling in my stomach because that song was playing at the time. But I can't really remember much else.
Oh my goodness.
Just a few shadowy kind of things. So, you know, and I'm aware that people may be listening who have experienced trauma. So even hearing what we're talking about could be a trigger for you, could set that response off. And so if that is the case, you really need to be very kind and very gentle to yourself and make sure that you're okay, or be able to talk to someone if possible. But just, so in a relationship, you can have a feeling about something and then not really know what that's about. And then when you start to understand it, okay, now that makes sense, because now I get why that happened to me.
So Karen is saying, she's talking about part of the treatment, right? So because someone might have been abused, and every time you get into an environment that looks like the environment that you remember when the abuse was happening, those are called triggers, right? So she is saying you need to be gentle to yourself. You need to take care of yourself. If it means removing yourself from that trigger, you have to, because it's for your own good. You can't force yourself to be in an environment that makes you have those memories and flashbacks and cause you to be dysfunctional. You got to be careful about who you surround yourself with, who understands you, who listens to you. And if you say, no, I can't do this, are they going to listen to you? Do they have you at heart? Now, talk about, the healing process that takes place in the brain. But before you do that, I need to ask you a question, Karen. I don't know how long back you left Bulawayo, but I have a question. I have lived in different cities in Zimbabwe before I came here, and one of them was Harare. During my day-to-day activities, because there are different levels of trauma. Some traumas, you look at them and you're like, how is this person going to heal and become a normal person who is going to have a family? Are they going to even be able to make it to adulthood with a sound and a stable mind? Let me give you an example. There are some people that the young ones that I have come across when I was in Zimbabwe. Let's say a child has lost both parents tragically or along the way they witness so much pain and all this. Eventually the parents die, and then one of the parents die, and there's a step parent there, or they are given to the relatives to be looked after. And these kids, they get so much traumatized to a point where they realize, if I don't run for my life, I'm going to die. And it doesn't matter wherever I go, because it's the same pain. Then they end up on the streets of different cities. My street kids. My street kids. There are some people there with success stories that I've read who, from being a street kid, they eventually made it in life. But some of them, from that environment that they were in, they are now exposed to extreme conditions where they are even damaged more, and they don't care about anything anymore. how do you help that kind of a child to become normal again? Because they are going to grow old in the streets. How do you go?
I think it's one, not that's this kind of like really extreme kind of consistent, complex trauma that takes place over and over again. I think that if they are able to have experiences of being nurtured and supported and loved consistently over and over and over again, which can be quite difficult for the person who's trying to do the nurturing, because often these children are not easy children to manage. They will act out. They will they will do all the, because they've developed coping skills which are often help them to survive. They've had to survive. In order to survive, they've had to develop coping skills, and sometimes those coping skills are not the best kind of coping skills, but it's to protect themselves. So some of them can be helped if they can have a nurturing figure that is able to reparent them. In some kind of way. Some may grow up and be able to reparent themselves if they're given the right circumstances or the right people in their lives. So this basically they need to develop a sense of self and trust in themselves and in other people, because that's been broken. And then some of them will not survive. And
that's right.
I remember seeing the children smoking, sniffing the glue and all that sort of thing.
Right.
And not even surviving of 1 year of being on the street. So, it's a difficult situation. But I think for most, if people are aware and can also look out for children like that and see what they can do, it's difficult. I think we are very fortunate in us here where we live that we have those facilities. It really worries me that these things happen in countries where there's not a lot of support.
Exactly, and that's the usual situation.
That can help them.
Yeah, that's the usual situation, because you know what? Most of the times, those kids who are exposed to extreme, complex childhood trauma, they are the ones who live in the poorest places where they can't be helped sooner rather than later. And like you're saying, when they grow older, they have developed that defensive, offensive mechanism for survival, and it can be really detrimental to their future, to a point where if you have to deal with them or help them, you have to be extremely loving kids, extremely patient, be willing to be a very good listener, and be able to nurture them slowly until they get out of that, kind of situation that they're in. So now...
And to manage in that situation, you yourself as the carer, you need to have done your own work, because they're acting out. When I say acting out, that means they are behaving in ways that are not healthy. They can be very angry, they can be defiant, they can run away, steal, lie, swear. It's very difficult to love, not because they don't believe they can be loved. And so as a parent or a nurturer, you have to be quite strong, have a good support system if you're going to be taking that kind of thing, those kind of children, and helping them. But I guess not all people have been through that experience. They may have been through other kinds of trauma.
Sorry, guys, I made a mistake here. Let me just put the correct number. I made a mistake. There's one digit that's wrong. I think some people are trying to call and they can't get through. +614 05 864 800. I'm really sorry, guys. +614 05 864 800. So this is the correct number for those who want to call. Where is it now? I'm gonna pin it again. Someone might have been trying to call and they couldn't get through. This is the correct number. So Karen is here. She's ready to help you. If you want her to help you right now, you can call the number that I've just put there. and she'll be able to help you. If you choose you want to be like one-on-one with her, she's a professional. You have to pay for her services. She has her offices and she has her practice in Sydney, Australia. And if anyone wants her information or wants her contact details, you can go to Gladys Mtongoria page, and then you can inbox me, you can messenger me, and then from there I can refer you to Karen. I can talk to Karen about you and then refer you to her. I don't want to put her number there because, you know. So those who think they want getting help for free, today is for free. She has offered herself. She's here for you. Don't be shy, guys. Don't be embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. This is a matter of life and death. Because there are some people who are walking around there. They pretend to be happy around other people. They pretend like everything's fine. And yet when they are now in their inner closets, they are struggling. They are depressed. They have a lot of anxiety, trust issues because of what happened earlier on in their lives. So today, like I'm saying, feel free. If you want to come, call the number that I've pinned there. Today, you are being helped for free. If you decide to go to Karen's website and book, it's up to you. It's Karen Triggs. Can you say it, Karen, for me? KarenTriggs.com.au. But when you go there, you are now going to pay. If you want to call and ask a question, or if you want to call and let her help you, what you can do and how you can go about it, today it's for free. It might not be you who is going through the situation. It might be someone else, a friend, a relative, your husband, or some other close person, or someone even at work. You can get that information and help the person, you know, help the person to be helped and help others. So I want you to understand this, guys. This is a serious issue. And I'm sorry to say this, that a lot of people might not get this opportunity. And I don't even know how serious people are in Zimbabwe and South Africa and other countries, whether they can help you properly. And, you know, so if you are interested, the number is there. You can call, and I'm ready for your calls. Meanwhile, Karen, can you tell us what are the challenges, or sorry, not challenges, what are the therapies that people can get, you know, to get,
because trauma is stored in the body, we need to work with it two ways. We need to work with the body, and we need to work with the mind. So we call that the mind, the top, the body, the bottom. We need a top and bottom approach to working with trauma. That usually gets the best outcomes. And I think I also want to say that if someone has been through trauma, what happened to you was not okay. No. That doesn't mean you are not okay. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It means that you did your best to survive, and something that should never have happened to you. And remember that we're not only talking about really, really super bad accidents and things like that. We are also talking about things like being humiliated, being betrayed, being neglected emotionally, being shamed. Those kinds of things are equally as traumatic as some of these other things. And in fact, sometimes there's a difference. You know, you can be in an accident with a one-time event, and that can be traumatic, but you can recover sometimes more easily from that than you can from a lifetime of being humiliated. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that there's creative therapies are very good. So things like art, music, singing, moving. Moving is very good. So if you start to feel anxious, or you start to feel upset, or you get that feeling in your stomach, go for a walk.
All right, Karen, someone is calling. Just hang on. Hello, caller.
Hi.
How are you, my dear?
I just I don't know if it's childhood trauma or what, but my issue is I don't like physical contact. even with my kids,
Oh, yeah.
even with my husband, I don't like it. But now I know that there's something called childhood trauma, so I just force myself to like hug my kids or cuddle them. But as soon as I hug them and cuddle them, I just want them away. And my kids actually know that mommy doesn't like cuddles and hugs. So I'm just wondering that could that stem from childhood trauma?
Now, the question that I would throw back to you, is there anything that you think you have experienced that you would call childhood trauma with the categories that Karen was giving us? Is there anything that you can still remember?
What I would call childhood trauma was the beatings, like the beatings with the belts and the beatings with the huni. You know, that's just what I can remember, and being scolded, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Karen? So this particular
I would
lady
say
here,
that
what she
would
was
classify
exposed to.
most definitely as childhood trauma, and perhaps what's happened is you've come to associate touch with something painful or touch to be avoided because you didn't experience enough safe touch. You didn't experience enough nurturing touch for you to be able to understand that touch was okay. So now when someone touches you, it's not that you don't love your children or you don't want to be with them. It just triggers that feeling of wanting to push away, that you feel something. And I would say when that happens, notice what you feel inside your body. And see, is your body telling you something? Do you feel anxious? Do you notice your heart rate going up? Do your hands tighten? Do you feel like you're going to freeze? Or do you feel like you want to run? Because usually it's one or the two. Either we freeze, we either want to freeze or run, or we want to fight.
Wow.
So notice what kind of response comes up for you, and that might give you some more clues as to what might be happening.
Well, I just feel
that there's some things that you can definitely do, even being able to tell yourself. So sometimes even being able to name what you're feeling and what's happening to you can help you reset your nervous system.
Right.
So
Caller, you wanted to say something?
Of the distress that you're feeling in whatever way.
Caller?
Hello. So Karen is breaking off, but I had some bits. What I wanted to say was when I get the cuddles or they're being touched, I feel suffocated.
Oh. Okay, so you didn't hear all that everything that Karen was saying? Is that what you're saying?
I heard some of it. She's breaking off.
Okay, so Karen, can you hear me though?
Yeah,
I can hear you clearly.
Fine.
Yeah. So Karen is saying it is childhood trauma that you experience. So you are saying Mairo wane huni or just beatings and all this kind of stuff. So Karen is saying what you are feeling right now, that what you are giving back to your children and your husband is because you never felt a safe touch. So every time your parent was grabbing you or whoever raised you, you knew that whenever someone who is in that kind of authority is coming towards you to hold you, it's something that is traumatic that is going to happen to you. It's not coming because there's love. There's no expression of love. Hakuna kana utomboudzwa kuti hanzi mwana wangu ndinokuda kana kumboappreciate wanzi mwana wangu apa wandigonera. The moment yavanouya vanenge vachingokuti why did you do this or why haven't you done this or why are you doing this or when are you doing this, and moro wane huni or shamu or mabande. We know kids need to be disciplined, yeah, but there is excessive discipline that can cause trauma to a child, and unfortunately we only give what we have. So for you, my sister, because it's like there is a reflection and constant reminder of mwana yeye kutongouya achida kukuhaga kuda, you feel suffocated. Your husband is trying the best, he's trying to cuddle you or you feel like irritated, sort of. So you actually need help to get out of that.
Okay.
You need help to get out of that.
And there's some things that you can do. So rather than, I guess, the aim with, so you get triggered. When they touch you or anyone touches you, you are getting triggered. So the key is to be able to find ways to work through that experience so that you can tolerate it and you're not reacting. And that can take time. So one of the things you can do is to tell yourself that, make up a saying for yourself and say, even though I feel like I'm suffocating, I am in a safe place, I'm an adult, and it's okay for me to show my children affection. It's okay for them to touch me. You can make up whatever suits you that you can say at that moment. You can also do some ocean breathing. When I say ocean breathing, it means that you breathe. You know how the sea comes up and it comes in and then goes out. So you're breathing in for the count of 4, you're holding it, and then you're breathing out. And if you do that just 3 times, that will help reset the nervous system.
Right.
As well as knowing, okay, I'm suffocating. I'm suffocating because maybe I'm feeling scared, or maybe I'm freezing. Naming what you're feeling, try and give you that feeling a name, and then that will also help you reset your nervous system. But I think it would be helpful to maybe be able to, talk to somebody about what you've experienced. And, when we're talking about trauma, it's very important to know that it is not necessary to talk about exactly what happened in every single detail. That's not the key. The key is understanding how that trauma is showing up now, because now you're safe. You're not in danger. At the time when you were little, your mum might have been loving one minute and then harsh the next. So you never knew, am I going to get into trouble, or is it okay?
Right.
So talking to someone would probably be helpful. Maybe there's a person that you can just talk to about this, and maybe helping your husband understand that this is not about him, it's not about them. Even talking to them and saying, even being honest and saying, Mummy finds it hard. Mummy loves you so much, but I find it hard to hug.
Yeah.
I want to hug you, but there's something that makes it hard for me to hug. But I want you to know that I love you. And maybe even looking at something like the love languages, the 5 love languages. I don't know if you've heard about that. But if you understand your children's love languages, you might also be able to show your affection and your love for them in different ways.
Right.
Okay.
Now, Karen, I want to. Are you okay now, caller? Can I drop you?
Yes. Thank you very much.
God bless you. God bless you. If you need to be in touch with us, feel free, my dear. Okay. God bless you. All right.
Bye.
Now, Karen, there is someone who is commenting here. So, guys, that caller is gone. So, if anyone wants to call, feel free to call. There is someone who is commenting here. I've just been reading some comments. Someone was saying, I went to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or some person for counseling, right? And then she was told what she already knew. And she hates talking about her feelings. And to her, there was no point going back there because she feels like it was a waste of time. And she felt like it was an intrusive and investigative session for her. And as a result, she just said, why go there? Because I feel judged. I feel blamed. What advice would you give to someone who has gone through trauma and around them or those people who are trying to help them, they are being judgmental. They are trying to blame the victim rather than causing the perpetrator to be accountable for their action. In this case, you might not be able to go back to the person to actually say, I'm holding you accountable for your action. Because some people will refuse accountability. And sometimes it's really hard to go and dig back from what happened. But then we are trying to help this person to get out of the situation without them going back to the person to say, you see, this is what you did for me. And then we have an opportunity to say, why did you do this? And how do you think you can best help us to solve this issue? How now can we best help someone who feels like they are being blamed for the abuse that happened to them?
I think that's probably not a very good psychologist. I think when you have been through trauma, you need to find someone who has had some training or some experience in working specifically around trauma.
Yeah.
And that you feel safe and comfortable with. Because you could go and see 10 different counselors, psychologists, psychotherapists, whatever you want to call the person, and you might only click with 2. So it's finding someone. So I would say don't give up on the process. Find the right person. Because that person may not have been the right fit for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, some people might come and see me, and I say to them when they come and see me, look, give it 3 sessions and see how you go. And if you don't feel this is working for you or that I'm the right person for you, I will help you find someone else.
Okay.
And, sometimes some people don't have a lot of experience with these things, and they don't understand how to work with someone who's experienced trauma. So I would be saying maybe that wasn't quite the right person for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for a therapist to be client focused, to be focused on what is it that you need from me, what is it that you want, how do you, because you're the expert in your life actually.
Right.
So you know what you need. You just need help to work that out.
Right.
You need someone who's going to be, some people need a very gentle approach. They need to, so that it doesn't feel, like you're being interrogated, or why did you do this? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
What was
No
going
good.
on? So,
no good.
Yeah, that would be my answer to that question.
So anyway, there's another one who has sent a question. She says, "Hi, I lost 2 siblings in a short space of time, like 2 months' time. Let me answer this and then I'll go back to it." Hello, caller.
Hello. I'm just calling from Australia.
Oh,
but I won't say
yeah.
exactly
Come.
where I am.
Thank you so much for supporting the family. God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I just need help, actually. I'm not the one. Okay, I'm thinking my husband is the one who's experiencing some trauma because, okay, I'll start from here. I grew up in a family whereby, do you mind if I mix with Shona? Because, English can be hard sometimes.
Okay, you can, if you want to speak in Shona, and then I'll interpret to Karen.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So I grew up in a family yekuti ukachekwa something kana kungoita karonda kadiki ukangoti dedi unaenda chekwa, you would pay attention so much and he was so much emotionally available.
Yeah.
So now I got married to my husband. I love him so much, but he is too quiet. He hardly expresses himself, and as a result, I feel like somehow my self-esteem is lowering. And there's a time I was so angry at him, I didn't even want him to touch me because I felt like he just married me just to put me there and be like a TV in the house. You get it? And every time he wants to be intimate, he just comes there. He wants to be intimate, but he never expresses himself.
Yeah.
He says, "I love you," I think once in a month, or not even saying anything at all. If I get upset about something, I talk to him. He won't even express himself. He will just keep quiet until I escalate, of which I don't like escalating because I feel it makes him withdraw more. But sometimes I don't know how I can put it. Like, it's not... The more I try to talk to him,
yeah. So,
yes.
Karen, basically, this love lady here is saying she grew up in a very intimate, emotionally affectionate family, where even the slightest cut while you're playing with your friends outside, you come in and dad is blowing your finger. And emotionally, she was like, she grew up in an affectionate environment. Now, she's married to a husband. She's here in Australia. The issue is the husband is too quiet. There is no affection. There is no intimacy. Even when they are trying to be intimate, he doesn't express himself. He just puts himself there. And, women are affectionate beings. We need to see. We need to hear. We need to experience. We are also talking for a reason. We talk for a reason. And so if you are going through a situation where you are trying to talk, someone is just like, yeah, and you can see they are emotionally disconnected. And now you trying to get your gathering, you are trying to, you get to a point where you are pushed to the limit, and now you begin to yell, you begin to express, your unhappiness and all this, and the person is not even paying attention, even though you are going to that extreme. How can you help this lady?
I would say, is there anything that has happened in his life that you know of that would make you suspect that there might have been trauma for him?
Okay, because I've tried to connect dots from what he has told me before, like he's dated another wife. There's a time he went to live with the stepmom, but the mom is still alive. So there's a time when he told me that he was waiting for his O-level results. Then the stepmother burnt all the books. Yeah, she burnt all the books, so at least he was waiting for his results. And, who burns someone's books when they're waiting for their results and they don't know the outcome? They might need the books later on. So I'm thinking probably maybe when he lived with the stepmom, because they dated another wife, or at least his mom was still there. So maybe that's where the trauma happened. I'm suspecting because he never opens up. So I'm trying to understand, because there's a time I was saying, you know what, I would rather go back to Zimbabwe than stay here and just be lonely while there's the people around me.
Right.
Yes.
It sounds to me like he does not know what to do with his feelings. And there is actually a disorder, and I've forgotten the name of it, that affects men particularly, more men than women, where they have feelings but they don't know how to express them, and it's actually a disorder.
Yes.
And so it's possible that for some reason, maybe trauma has contributed to it, that this is what he's experiencing, is that he has these feelings but he has no idea how to communicate it. And then, then you're coming along and you're wanting to be emotional, you're wanting to connect, and he just doesn't know how to do it. And so in order to avoid feeling his own feelings of shame, or avoid feeling guilty, or avoid feeling whatever it is, his solution is shut down and withdraw. That's how he copes.
So my sister,
Yeah. So now the problem is it's rubbing onto me, because we've got two kids, and now when my child cries, it irritates me so much. I'm thinking you're just crying for no reason. And with me, even now, if he keeps on being quiet, I no longer care. I've put myself in his state that you're numb, you don't feel anything. But now I don't want my kids to grow up like that. Like when they're crying, when they're saying, "Oh, Mama, I've got a cut," and I just feel like, "No, you'll be fine." Rather than soothing them, I just feel like they're just crying for no reason. But when a child cries, it means something. That's how they express themselves.
Okay. So what I want you to say is, my sister.
Yes.
I need to do a one-on-one with you. Okay.
Yes.
I need to do a one-on-one with you. We need to go deeper into your issue. It's not something that we can sort out right now.
Okay.
You have actually done a good thing by reaching out. You are not embarrassed of it. We are not judging you. I know how hard it can be out here. I have heard people who just call and they're like just crying on top of their voices because they don't even know what to say and what to do, and it's just so bad. I'm telling you this.
Because even now, if he sees me crying, he won't even ask me what's wrong.
Okay, my sister.
It sounds to me like it makes you feel like you've been abandoned and
Yeah.
that he doesn't care,
Yeah.
and then you feeling very alone.
Okay, my sister, can you hear me?
Yes.
It is going to be fine. Okay?
Yes.
You are going to laugh again. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So you are going to enjoy life again with that husband of yours. We are going to help you to get there. So when you inbox me, just tell me your name and which state you are. I don't want you to do that here, okay? I want it to remain private. So I want you to send me information and just say, Mama Gladys, I'm the one who called with this situation. My name is so and so. And then I'll get a hold of you. I'll communicate with you probably tomorrow, okay?
Okay.
I want to assure you, you shall testify, my sister.
Thank you very much.
And I'm giving you some cyber hugs. You know when you are called for these kind of things, I didn't come here for fun. I didn't come here to just do a live streaming. My live streamings that I do are about life, real issues of life. It does not matter whether I touch only one person at a time. That is a good feeling for me because I am doing God's job. And same as Sister Karen there, we work together. So I can assure you, even if it's just you, that we are going to help. Let it be so. We deserve to be happy. We deserve a better life. And those kids deserve a better future. And it's going to happen. So I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I love you. It will not make sense. Oh, she doesn't know me. How can she say I love you? When I talk to you, you understand why I'm saying these things. Yeah?
Yes, I feel the love from here. Because I've been bottling it up for about 5 years. I've been here in Australia for 5 years. And every time I escalate or talk about this issue with my husband, I end up saying, you know what, I'm going back home. Because even my family, when I tell them about Australia, they don't even dream of coming here. Because I just tell my sisters or my family that it's lonely out here. You know?
Yeah, you know, those people who are not out here.
That's what I'm picking up is just this feeling of loneliness. And I think that in some ways, what you've experienced has been traumatic for you.
Yeah.
But I think what Gladys is saying is I think it would be very good to speak with her and to know that, you know what, you're going to get the help that you deserve. There's nothing wrong with you.
No.
And that you have been very brave and courageous to talk about this openly now. So well done for that. And just know, okay, even though I'm feeling so bad, I'm feeling so lonely, there's a little ray of hope. There is.
Yeah. All right, my dear. Hugs to you. Hugs. Big.
Thank you so much. I'll give a chance to the other.
Yeah. So, I will let you go. We'll talk soon, yeah?
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'll just message you. Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. I think we are coming to the end of our program. It's quite late now. It's 11:30. So thank you so much for those who have been here with us. Thank you, Karen, for all your time. You are a busy woman. You should have slept right now. I need to release you and let you go. And God bless you abundantly. May He... Oh. Okay, all right. Let's see.
Thank you so much, Gladys. It's a real honor and privilege to be able to speak about this topic with all the people that are listening and with yourself. So I hope that you will be blessed too.
Thank you. So Karen, I'll let you go. You need to go to bed, but let me just talk to this caller who is here so I can let you go, Karen. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Okay.
All right. Bye. Bye. Caller, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you, my sister?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm blessed, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know. I'm actually asking. Is actually on behalf of my brother, and I'm also not quite sure if it's actually child trauma that he is actually going through. He's now in his 30s, but it's been going on for all his life because our parents, they broke up. They separated when we were kids. He was actually in grade 3, and before our parents got divorced, everything was fine.
Yeah.
But the moment that our parents got divorced, he started just disappearing from home. Sometimes he would go for 2-3 days because in the beginning we were not staying with our mother, we were staying with our dad and our stepmother. And that's when he started. He would just call maybe 3-4 days, and then we'll be looking for him. When we find him, he will be saying, I was living under a bridge. And now he's actually like an adult. He's not even married. He's got nobody. But he can just disappear. For months or for a year, he can go. You won't even know where he is.
Okay.
He'll be staying.
Right.
He just pitches from nowhere.
Right. Okay. It's a clear trauma there. There are no two ways about it. Remember earlier on I was talking about kids who run away from home and they end up being street kids. And unfortunately, people are quick to judge them. People are quick to say, these ones, they don't listen. This child is very rebellious and all this. And they judge them. But I want you to know there's separation anxiety to start with. It doesn't matter whether, sometimes it's not that the stepmother is abusing you. But just being disconnected from your biological parents can affect someone. We have different capacities and different tolerance levels. We digest issues differently. For parents to go their separate ways, there are obviously issues there. Who is older, you or your brother?
I'm the older one.
Yeah.
We've got a difference of 3 years, yeah.
Right, okay. So to get to a point where parents who got together, getting married because they loved each other, for them to say, guys, let's go, we are calling it quits, you never know whether the process of doing it, because divorce is a process. There is nothing like a better divorce, okay? The way you digested that divorce might be different from the way your brother digested the divorce, because you might have been a little bit older than your brother. And for him, it affected him in a different way that it affected you. And boys, like I was telling you earlier on, boys were trained to say, men don't cry. And you are able to express your feelings sometimes, but boys sometimes they just don't. And as a result, you will see by the action that this child is affected. Unfortunately, in those kind of events, let me mention this without you having explained it to me. Do you know what happens sometimes? Sometimes it's possible that he disappeared for one day initially and he came back. But when he came back, how did you or the family receive him? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Possibly, if your father did not physically abuse him or beat him up or anything, the words that were spoken over him when he came back, instead of him being received with 2 arms and with love, someone sit down with him and explain or try and understand him why he was doing it. A lot of times, I don't know about your parents, but a lot of African parents, they will respond by being aggressive and blaming the child. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand.
Where were you? What are you doing? Do you understand, Shona?
Yes, I do.
Stepmother, when you are at the best she can, he would be very lucky if he wasn't pinched or pushed or whatever. But sometimes shoko charo rinobaya pamoyo. And slowly, instead of him being connected to a father who will say, okay, manangu, ngatimboenda for a walk, explain to me what is happening. Zvirikuitika pamba here? Waaffectika nekuseparata wandaita na mama here? Are you happy? What is happening here? Because you might think, oh yeah, he wasn't abused. Maybe he was, but he didn't want to talk about it. And the best way to respond, he shut down and he decided, I'm not going to tell anyone. This is my mode of coping. When it's too much and I can't cope, I'll just distance myself from the rest of the family, come back when I want. And are you surprised that he is not married? Because he has unresolved issues inside himself. he does not see marriage sometimes as something that he can cope with, because there's something that he might have experienced or something that he might have seen in marriage when you might have not noticed it, and then he just thinks, what a waste of time. What is marriage for? Why should I do that? There's so much pain associated with this. I might not be able to cope. There's also an element of fear there. So all those things add up. And because I suspect no one took time to sit down with him, not to yell at him, not to shout at him, not to scold him, but to show him love. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
to make him experience love to a point where he thinks, me, I'm so stupid. Why did I do this? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He should have come to a point, after all, this is just like, me, let me stop this. This is not right, man. Let me stay at home, But if he came home, sure, whatever, there's no opportunity for him. Maybe, I'm not sure whether he tried to go and live kuna mama or whatever, or kunewa mango my relative. You never know these things. So your brother, seriously.
The time when our mother was still there, kana kuna mai aisa disappear. But then akangodzoka kakara kumba kwa baba, he would start disappearing. And then like now, yatongova ndo watoa upenyu, the whole family just knows kuti anongo disappear. Kana ma azongo pisha up, but nobody will be knowing kuti where does he stay, kana kuti anotumbo anengari kupi.
As a sister, I want to ask you something. As a sister, wakambogara naye ere pasi kutaura unaye as a brother, like when he started disappearing?
The time when we were kids, I couldn't, because I was also going through my own stuff, so I also didn't understand what was actually going on. But later on that day, I tried my very best to try out to be there, to try and do, but still, he just disappears.
Okay, I want to ask you an honest question. When he was coming back home, how did your mom, stepmom, and dad respond?
I think what you were saying was actually quite right. There was that blame. People will be saying and whatnot. People not really trying to understand
why,
what will be going on actually deep down.
Yeah, and you see, you are saying when he was at mom's, he wouldn't do that. So that already explains a lot of things there. And then he's coming back. He feels, I'm a burden. Dad is more worried about me messing up his marriage than me. I don't come first. I don't matter. So why should I bother? There's emotional disconnection. He's heartbroken. He's never experienced that love of a father. Sitting down with him, because honestly, just divorce on its own, you have put your child in a separate category. You have put your child in a different category. Anyway, I'm going to come back here on this page, either here on Another Chance with Gladys, because I posed a question to people to say the challenges that people are facing as single parents or remarrying and all those things. We need to talk about these things because it's affecting our children. Just divorce alone, you have put your child in a different category, and that can tremendously change their way of thinking, their way of doing things. Imagine I'm not divorce my parents. My dad says this, my mom says this. Now you are thinking again, okay, should I say my mom says my dad? Because we're separate now. That alone is stressful. How about the pressure that comes along with it? And because you are living with a stepmother, most of the kids, they feel the pressure of just trying to be perfect kids. There's nothing like a perfect kid.
Yeah.
Nothing like a perfect kid. So unless the father and the stepmother and the children gather, have family meetings, talk about issues of life, make sure you amend relationships, you correct. Whoever is wrong should admit that they are wrong, whether it's whoever. People should get to a point where they know our feelings matter. Everyone's feelings matter. So putting things together will help kids to grow knowing, okay, yeah, it will never be the same. My mom is not here anymore, or my dad is not here anymore, whether it's the other parent passed on or they divorced. But at least if you're in an environment where you are nurtured and you are able to comprehend what is going on and slowly begin to build up to understand the new environment, the situation that is there, the new wife or husband or father that is now there. It is a process. If you are not supported properly, you have resentment towards the rest of the relationship. So I hope I have helped you a bit there, my sister. Your brother need help, but it's not gonna be easy because there are some deep-rooted things that were not dealt with.
Yeah, because
Whatever-
like I couldn't say
Whatever is happening now is the manifestation of the deep roots that has grown down into his life. So it's not going to be child play to try and help your brother. It will need someone who will listen to him, someone who has him at heart to try and help him. And I'm not surprised that wherever he goes, well, he might end up doing drugs. He might end up being in very dangerous situations. You never know.
That's actually very true. That's
So now you are dealing with someone who is traumatized, who is now on drugs or is an alcoholic or, is addicted to smoking, different kind of things. It needs someone with love, someone with patience to dig deep.
Yeah.
It's not going to be child play, my sister. It's going to be a big situation that needs a process. And you don't be surprised that he might be going into failed relationships. See, when we are talking about these things, we also talk to say some people will be very lucky to even get a girlfriend for a year, a steady girlfriend for a year, because they are traumatized. They have been, their conscience is now seared. They don't care. They can be rough riders. They can be rude. It's tough, but it's reality. Anyway, my sister, I'll talk to you aside, okay?
All right.
Okay, God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Bye. Someone was trying to call here. Unfortunately, I had to finish with my sister here first. Someone was trying to call. There is a missed call. Someone was trying to call. Hi there, please read out my questions on the show. Time allowing. I have a very close someone who went through trauma at age 2 or 3. It was within the family. So as you know, our culture, everything is hash out. I noticed the person as they have grown but never speak about this incident and is even considerably friendly with the perpetrator as their cousins. However, the victim is a very closed individual, hardly communicates and has very low confidence, as in they don't maintain eye contact easily. They get annoyed by being looked at. It is possible that they still remember the trauma 14 years ago. My sister, you have to call me. Hello? I'm good. Who is this? Sorry. So, no, you don't need to tell me your name. I'm sorry. It's okay. You don't need to tell me your name. But anyway, go ahead, please.
All right. I thank you so much for this show.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you. Oh, my God. Sorry. Is this New Zealand?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
All right. Okay.
Inbox the other day, but anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I struggle, and you know. Sometimes, honestly speaking, sometimes I get to the point where I actually tend to hate myself for the way that people look at me. Whatever I hate myself, I hate the way that people look at me. Maybe it's the way that I carried myself. And you've got your own way of naturally acting, and it.
Yeah.
I tend to find even the people that I'm close to, it's quite hard for me to tell them exactly what I'm going through sometimes. They always think I'm the strongest of the pack. They think I'm the strongest of the pack, but I'm not. I'm not, because I struggle quite a lot. And this is something that is actually starting to cause me serious problems.
Yeah.
Ndinoremerwa veduwe handizivi kuti how can I explain myself? I'm one of those people kuti ndaimboda vanhu handiti I came here, I used to be a very sociable person and whatsoever. And but then there was a 10, and I know exactly where the 10 came from. And I know where the 10 came from. Most they can be a little bit insensitive, so on. Which one I know, look up and stuff. In any way, I've been struggling to get my children. Right? And the people that know me, vanoziya nyaya, but andingafambi ndichiudza munhu wese kuti zvakamira zvakadai. And you know our people, sometimes vanhu understand, understand. Situations are different.
No, now I remember you now.
Yeah. Situation yangu is different. Unoziva kuti kana uchitaura kuti hey, kuma overseas kunokuka pane zvimwe zvinhu zvokuti if only we had known before coming kunoko we could have done certain things differently. Ingadai ndakaziva kuti ndaizogara makore akawanda kudai ndisina vana vangu handiti. Saka it so happened kuti I went somewhere. I'm talking about 5-6 years ago. I went somewhere and kwakasangana vakadzi vekuZimbabwe. And this person that I respected so much, highly regarded this person, akataura kune mumwe munhu kune shamwari yangu kuti muchimuona akadai vanenge vachiita zvekuchena kudai asi anenge asina vana vake, asi hana vake basa kuda kuzvekuita zvavanoita asi hana vana vake.
Oh my God.
And then when I heard that, it crushed me. You have no idea. It crushed me. But I couldn't. I just went up to Mukadzi kuti Redweka. Sometimes if you don't know the story, do you know how many times I cry myself to sleep? Do you know how many times that I can't even sleep? Dichitaura nemukudai is 2 a.m. Sometimes you can't sleep because who wants to live without their children?
No.
And from that time, honestly, I know that's what has changed me. That's what has changed me. I just stopped associating with people. I just struggle. I struggle so much to meet people physically. Even the people that are so nice and welcoming to me, I'm one of those persons that has just become a person that gives excuses. Tozviona ndichitonyepa kuti mukati iwe handei kana kulunch handei kudhina ndinototanga kutoti ndiri kuenda kubasa kana kuti ndiri kunonoka kupedza basa asi ndinge ndiri magumbezi kudai. And I'm sorry, something just really hit me this last year because ndakarwara. I've been sick handiti. I've been sick, but mukurwara kwandakaita they said would be autoimmune disease. And me learning about that autoimmune disease, the first thing ndakaita hangu therapy, the first thing chavakandudza kutoti zvinotofambirana neyo mental health. And honestly speaking, the trauma, so it changes a lot of things to us.
It does. It
changes. Every time I stress, I flare up.
Oh goodness me.
Every time I stress, I flare up. So in international basro kuti okay. They tell me kuti ndiri kurwara and if I stress kurwara kwandikuita handikwanise kunyaso kuimprove because there is no cure for what I have.
My
but
sister,
you can only manage it.
My sister, can I ask something? Are your kids away from you because of visa issues or what?
Yeah, visa issues, custody issues and that.
Right, okay. And you have tried to get solicitors, family lawyers and all this who can help you, who understand your situation, as in from back home?
Yeah, so where I am now, Panyaivana, everything looks like the coronavirus is zatikanganisa. But where I am standing right now, I'm standing on a very good ground. As soon as Monday akatanga kufamba and stuff, because there's been family meetings between my family and my ex's family. This has to be for the interest yevana.
Right.
My case is very simple but very complicated as well.
Yeah, it can be very complicated.
I'm at a good place. But where I'm struggling in Ninika is I feel so demotivated about a lot of things. And I hate the way people perceive me. You are strong, you are chi. I've even tried to talk to people that are not even my Africans.
Yeah.
Look, this is what I'm going through. But you seem like a strong person. How can you be going through such? How can, if you're going to say you feel like you're depressed sometimes? Like, what about some of us? They don't even believe you are going through the same things. Can I tell you something?
Can I tell you something, my sister? Can I tell you something? Obviously, we'll communicate, but I want to tell you something so that other people can benefit here. Do you know what happens with depression or anxiety or mental instability issues? The people who go through that, most of them, they display a very caring attribute of themselves. They look after everyone else except themselves. And they will portray a good image to everyone else, not because they are faking it. Naturally, most of them, they're just like that. But when they are now in their own closet, when they are now by themselves, that's when the pain begins to haunt them. The challenges of life, because there are people who help others all the time. That's why you see people were saying, Maka Simba, you are a strong person. Why? Because every other person who comes to you, they go back with a solution. But now I was talking to someone earlier on. It's like being mindfulness. You see? People are coming to you all the time. You are praying for people. You are doing everything for people. But then no one is looking after you. No one is caring about you. Those are the kind of situation that my sister is explaining here. She cares about people. She cares about a lot of things that other people are going through. But when it comes to her own self, she is not looking for help because she feels, what are people going to say about me? You know, people know me as a very strong person. Even expressing yourself, you are that kind of a person who confront or something really bad about you. You can run out of words because you're just a nice person.
Yeah.
And because you reflect back like a person who is looking in a mirror to say, ndikamupindura zvinhu zviri rough, anozorwadziwa marwadzirwa andinoitwa dai kuri kunzi iye andipindura zvinhu zviri rough. So those kind of people, they suffer more. And now you are talking to me about autoimmune disease. This is what I was saying the other time. It can start as depression. Affect even your physical body, your organs and all this. So, you know, my sister, I'm 100% supporting you. I'm 100% behind you, because I know whatever help you need in the future, right? Let's talk, because we need to get these kids here as soon as possible. It is for even your health benefit. Even on medical conditions, you can get that visa. There is no way you can be accused of abusing your kids that you don't even have. They are not here. And when they come, I'm telling you the truth, you are going to see a big change in your own health. And you are going to find that you express yourself better. First of all, trust has been destroyed because of people talking things that they don't want. They don't know, you know, what's happening. People just talk. If you do something, they talk. If you don't do something, they will talk. Can I tell you, my sister, there is a period in my life, like I said, some of these things I need to talk to you separate, because there's a time in my life where people were running away from me because of the problems that I was going through. Musataura zvekunyeiwa izvo kana kuudzwa makunun'unu maodza mwoyo zvakapfuura mastage ese iwayayo zvikasvika papoint yekuti ndaitizwa nevanhu, because people just don't know what to say to me now anymore. Nhamo dzanga dzandiwandira. But can you imagine that God helped me to get out of that situation so that today I can be sound and stable in my mind and help someone?
Yeah.
One day I'm going to come back here. One day I'm going to come back here and I'm going to share my story, because some people will be here saying, oh, you know what? You know, she's good. You know, she has a good life. She's had it all good. No, I was at a point at some stage of my life where people were literally running away. Zvekunyaya izvo zvanga zvatopfuura stage iyoyo, saying bad things about me. It had gone past that. At the same time, I'm experiencing trauma in my own marriage, and people are running away from me, you know. But God being merciful, one day I'm going to share my story here. It is going to shock you.
Yeah.
It is going to shock you.
You know what, Nezuro, just yesterday, I've been having problems for the past year, health problems.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up being an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
And Nezuro, so 2 weeks ago, I had a full body MRI scan.
Mm-hmm.
Nezuro, just Nezuro. I was at the doctor's, I had my results, and it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned so much. Kuti mental health because I was the way I have chronic pain and chronic fatigue, they are not really understanding kuti with my age. I'm only 35. But these problems we usually face nevanhu vatokura, aged people. I need help. I need help.
My sister,
I really do need it. I'm coming forward to ask for help.
Yeah, my sister. Like I said, I think I remember you. I think you typed earlier on when the network and the technical issues were challenging, and you said, I can't wait, or something like that. In another chance, in my another chance with Gladys group, you typed when I was telling you guys there to say we are doing this. I remember you. But yeah, send me a message again, because I get really busy with this counseling and life coaching and all this. Send me a message, and I'm very much interested in making it, you know, in helping you get back to yourself. Yeah, there are so many people that we have sat down with who have autoimmune disease, things like lupus and all those other things, and we have helped each other, right? But because of these things, unotaka kunzwa immunity system, your body will fight against you. You come first, my sister. You come first. Yeah. So I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. You send me a message.
Thank you so much.
Okay. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, Argoteria.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Someone is trying to call, but then the phone is playing up on their end. So, guys, I'm gonna call it a day, okay? We're gonna call it a day. I have to go. Someone is trying to call, but unfortunately, let me just cancel it. So, you, if you are watching, can you please try and call again? The person who is calling, try and call again. It's going to be a very busy week for me. Yeah, I need to help these people. We are not here to play games. We are here to touch lives. So, yeah. Hello, caller.
Hello, Makadieni.
Tiripo yedu makadieni, my sister.
Inini ndafarira kutaura neshona because ndaona kuti most of the people vari kusangana nezvakadai vanhu vekumusha kwedu. Sorry henyu kune vamwe vasinganzwi shona. But I'm so happy because I've been inbox you twice. You check your inbox and ndizotaura hangu zita rangu. Most of us tiri kusuffer from side effect yevamwe vanhu. Handizi kuti muri kundinzwisisa here.
Yes.
Kuti zvakaitika kuna someone or partner yako.
I get you.
So you get me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like, okay, you see, there's a lady who came earlier on. She was raised well, okay? But then
exactly
the husband, so the husband is the one that is now causing his trauma, is now causing her trauma. So it's like a perpetual thing. It's an ongoing thing. So I get you. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Point yangu iri pakuti handisi kutora zvangu side rekuti vakadzi kana kuti varume.
No, let's just say partner.
Let's just say partner. Yeah, thank you for that. Point yangu iri kuda pakuti vanhu ngavaite sevanodzidzira kutanga healing from yourself. Wozoona kuti partner yako iyi ungaibatsira sei. In the other way, I'm trying to say kuti usasafe zvakaitika kuno umwe munhu, trauma yemunhu isakuafecta iwewe. Zvakaitika kune munhu uyu ukaona kuti zviri kukuafecta, please speak out. Kana zvisingaiti hazviiti. Ndabatikana na-first call angataura zvekuti she grew up in a welcome family, whatever. Now the husband trying is very quiet. I've been in the same situation. Yekuti partner yangu, speaking from own experience, partner yangu is very quiet. Very, 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 very quiet. I end up going to study social psychology. And I have to start from myself. I was a busy bee with him. Can I cheat busy bee? Every day namtaura kuti ishamarika kamunyararo kakwaka apa uchada uzondona manheru ndopaunongozoda kuita unge unozvirelief. Usiona kuti in a good way up to akutozoita open up kuti but iwewe musoro wako zvaunopisa but zvimwe zvinhu zvauri kutaura zviri kundibatsira. Munozviona?
That's right.
For 6 years I've been suffering with kugara nemunhu akatizi auzivi kuti ari kufara, auzivi kuti what's going on. Zvinobhoma tiri kuSouth Africa, munenge muchifamba mese muri kuburuka mumota and another guy kuno kuvarume vekuno vane freedom of speech. Umwe murume obva akudza kuti hey budi haibo peti hachi ari kukomplimenta kuti une bhiza remukadzi but wangu handinaye mumba asi kutombosvitaura masvika kumba kwendiya inobva yawedzera manje. Ndobva ndati ndiri kudzidziswa kakuchikoro kuti usasafe from someone, not from yourself. Wakati kwindi ndaibva ndatoataka there and there kuti don't even start. Please, not today. Iwe wakanyarara vachataura sterek out there until you change your ways.
Right.
Tobva taenda ku-child trauma manje yekuti unenge wakaraiswa sei. Inini ndakaraiswa, baba vangu is a quiet guy. Baba vangu. Mai vangu haandichihera. Combination yacho you can tell. Mai vangu vaiti uchibva kuchikoro vaitenda every book, vaiti garapo, ukasvika vakagara pavharanda ende ndanda kutoiziva kuti ashasha nasiri mupi vhura mabhuku overengwa 32 pages kuti akakwana. Kana mune tutsamba tunenge tuchipailiwa paside and you have to answer that. She was strict like hell. We never had this connection yekuti mother and daughter. Apana ndiri ndega musikana. Vamwe vese vakomana ndaichiva vama next door, vamwe vanaso kuti how they interact with their mothers, but inini kwanguko chimoto even kuita joko nangu handisi kuti strict wavo, asi ndakazovaudza ndakura kuti but pepe maibhaisa mama mukazviita kune vavora venyu havashuwa
hamugarisani mushimu.
Ndakachinja dzinza rese. Kune vanonzi vari tough. I said don't worry, I'll deal with them. So I think it's up to you. It must start from you. Iwe munhu individual. Get on with your own problems first. Then you can go out there. Saka ndozvona ndinongotaura kune vanhu kuti ngatitangei with ourselves. Zvinhu zvinonetsa nyambozviita zvekuti munhu anouya neproblem yake but haatozivi kuti mangu mumba mufaro dololo shuwa. Ndobatsira vanhu vaenda ndosara ndichichema.
Unosara uchichema shuwa.
Kozi vanenge vachiona kazvese bho zvekuti
hapana kana bho, hapana.
Mwoyo wangu uri kutsva. Ndobva ndaona kuti tanga ndi problem. Ndinoda kupretenda zvandisiri.
No.
Let's not pretend ladies out there.
No.
Let's not pretend varume out there. Iyo problem yekuti munhu ndanzwa futi mwekola yeti brother yake inoenda for some time. Yozodoka. I reached that point yekuti I feel like I want to be alone. But is it a solution of running away from your own shadow?
No. It's not.
Yeah, I think at some point people they have to rise up, face your own challenges first, so
That's
that
right.
you can explode.
Thank you so much, my sister. Aiwa, matotaura kanhaisisi, matotaura. It's actually very, very, very good. So you just said, it is very important for you to be the best version of yourself before you can try and help someone. Learn to communicate effectively. Learn to speak, okay? There are some situations where I've dealt with men who were not affectionate, but they actually didn't know they were not. They actually thought what they were doing is being affectionate. But unless you express yourself one towards another, the person who is next to you cannot assume. More of these things here. Let me just type. So on Saturday, we are going to do this program called Intimacy. I'm typing it here, Intimacy in Marriage. And on this page called On the Page, I'm just typing because I'm about to go. On the page, another chance. I'm trying to... on the page, another chance.
Yeah, until ndakanga kutaura imwe iri very important. Yeculture yedu sevanhu vatema vekuzimbabwe, especially vekuzimbabwe, anti iyo inondivhiringidza brain. I wish if I can change the universe, I was going to change the whole cultural beliefs, whatever. You must listen to me. That was wrong. That was wrong.
Ndio trauma yachoka yoyo yokuti you were not feeling like anyone is validating you. You don't feel like anyone is listening to you. You just feel like iwawa zvako ndezvekuteerera chete. Zvandataura ndizvozvo. Yeah.
If I say jump, I have to ask how high. That was culture inenge yakati mpunyikidza brain zvekuti ndakazoseka manje the other day mai vangu vavhizita vari kunuka haikunongokati handiti unongoti munhu atojaira kaka kuti wapedza kubika sadza shasha yatongozvigezera maoko because at some point ndiye anotombobika zvazvakungozonyadzisa kuti ambwi havaripo saka ndakatomupa sadza ndakamira zvakanzi amugwadamere handina kudaira at that time ndakazoti tatega ndikati mama pane zvakasarira paipai ndofunga pandaimbokupe kuti nevarora mugarisani imimi maigwadababa iri mimi my entire life muchindirera you were that woman aipenga zvekuti that attitude that belief must be dissolved in your brain. Musanyanya kudaro kune generation yedu iyi. Saka isusu tikasazvistupa isusu. Hakuna munhu achana mana from heaven itaura kuti izvirekeka itai. Ngati kunze kungorapa tune tutsika twaitwa kare ende vana mai vedu vaiti hazvitaurwi but zvinenge zvichikudzwa mumwoyo.
Or you might have questions as well and mibvunzo yacho haipindurwi inongonzi ita izvozvo chetewo. Anyway, thank you so much my sister. Guys, I love you and I'm leaving you. Thank you so much my sister. God bless you for your contribution. And I have to go, guys. I have to go. I need to go and sleep. You see? It's time to go to bed for me. It's quite late. Thank you so much for supporting my program. I'll see you on Saturday on Another Chance with Gladys. I have pinned my page there. Share with as many people as possible. Invite as many people as possible. Intimacy in marriage. It's not just for those who are married. If you are planning to get married at some stage of your life, you need to know what you are getting yourself into. So it's time for equipping. It's time for restoration. It's time for restitution. it is also time to reconnect and, be intimate with your partner. I'm not saying go and get intimate with your partner if you're not yet married. Marriage and that act is for those who are already married. But if you are planning to get married, it's best for you to be equipped so that when the wind of life begin to blow against your life and begin to blow against your marriage, you are equipped enough to know what to do. So I want to see you there. Let's enjoy together. Karen is going to be there as well. She's a psychosexual therapist, and she's going to be there. She'll tell you her experience and how she has also helped other people along the way who are having different challenges in having intimacy. And so we are going to see you guys on Saturday on Another Chance with Gladys group. Go and join, invite others. I love you, and I'm leaving you until we see each other next time. Come to my inbox as well, because you want to come to my inbox for those who have suggestion of programs or topics that we need to handle and tackle here and on Another Chance with Gladys. Come to my inbox and put some suggestions of things that are going to help individuals, families, men and women, all the same. God bless you. I love you. Bye-bye.